This week on Dateline Abuja, we're taking a look at the failure of local governments to meet up with their responsibilities. A lot is blamed for this failure, most importantly, its lack of autonomy financially. Our feature story takes us to Wulum community near the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, a community crumbling under the weight of poor local government management and a lack of infrastructure that should make any government very ashamed. Helping us navigate local government autonomy issues today is our guest, Comrade Ambali Olatunji, the president of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees. This is Dateline Abuja. Hello and welcome to Dateline Abuja. I am Kayla Megwa. We kick off the program with a look at some of the major stories in the nation's capital this week. The president is briefed by the vice president on activities conducted while the president was away. He attends the World Climate Change Summit and meets some state governors as insecurity remains a front-burner issue in the country. It's time for our Abuja Wrap.
Upon resumption of office, President Muhammadu Buhari started his week by receiving a briefing from the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The meeting was held behind closed door. The President had travelled to the United Kingdom for 16 days, where he went for a routine medical checkup. The President also met with his Nigerian counterpart, President Mohamed Bazoum, who is in Nigeria on his first international visit after resuming office. The two West African leaders discussed the sub-region security as well as infrastructure. President Buhari joined 39 other world leaders at a summit on climate change. The summit, which was held virtually, was attended by President Joe Biden of the United States, Pope Francis, and philanthropist Bill Gates. The president expressed Nigeria's readiness to mobilize resources for the Paris Agreement on climate change. The president also met with Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State. Speaking to State House correspondents after the closed-door meeting, Governor Uzodinma alleged that politicians are funding banditry in his state to run down his government.
I thought what the problem would be, people saying that no job creation, people are not feeding, salaries are not paid, infrastructure are going down, social interventions are not approved by government. These things are there available. A pass mark for the government of President Muhammad Buhari. Now people are no longer talking about that. Rather, what they are doing is to sponsor crisis to the extent that those funding this banditry are politicians, which are challenge and call on security agencies to make their names available to the press.
President Buhari met with governors from the northern part of Nigeria as the country seeks ways to contain its numerous security challenges. The governors were led to the meeting by Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State and the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum. According to the governors, the meeting was convened to review the region's security situation and seek ways to address it. In the meantime, the Acting Inspector General of Police, Mr. Usman Alkali Baba, says he's introducing measures that he believes will mitigate the security situation in the country. He made the statement after a closed-door meeting with President Buhari. He was accompanied by the Minister of Police Affairs to the introductory meeting at the State House.
I am fully aware of the situation in the country, and I am introducing what I feel will mitigate these security challenges in the country, and I have started implementing them, and I'm ready to come and brief the president so that we can get all the support that is necessary to go about it. You know, you don't have all that you need to do anything. While I'm trying to use what I have, I also need some improvement in both logistics, manpower, and equipment.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Defense, General Bashir Magashi, has been lamenting over the security situation in the country. Speaking during the weekly ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team, General Magashi lamented the negative effects ethno-religious agitators have had on national security in recent times.
Make no mistakes that our nation is bleeding now. It is bleeding because the self-interest and other primordial consideration underlying decisions, quite a number of our elites, political, ethnic, and religious, make it so. We have made a comprehensive, detailed brief as far as the security of this country is concerned, and the method we want to take in ensuring that we strategically and tactically get rid of all our enemies in this country.
The National Economic Council is insisting that there was no printing of 60 billion naira or any other amounts to shore up allocation for the month of March. Speaking after a virtual council meeting, the media aide to the Vice President explains that the meeting received presentation from the Minister of Finance, the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor, and the Nigeria Governors Forum.
There was no 60 billion CBN money printed for March FAC. Haven't had presentations on the controversy generated regarding insinuations of alleged printing of 60 billion naira to augment MAC allocations. The Council affirmed that there is no truth whatsoever in the claim. Today's meeting revealed the controversy and heard from the Finance Minister, the Nigerian Governors Forum as represented by the Ekiti State Governor and the CBN Governor. Both the Minister and the CBN Governor stated categorically to the Council that the allegation of the printing of money to augment allocation is outrightly false. The NGF also supported the conclusion, and NEC affirmed same as the highest constitutional body tasked with economic affairs in the country.
The Federal Executive Council has approved an 8.39 billion naira augmentation for the completion of a section of the Sokoto-Makera Road, which cuts across Sokoto, Kebbi, and Niger states. Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, disclosed this to State House correspondents after the 42nd virtual Federal Executive Council meeting.
Price changes essentially between 2012, when the contract was awarded, and now. Materials and costs have changed, and also the scope of works of the 85 kilometers of the road has to be changed now from rehabilitation to reconstruction, because it has deteriorated from when it was awarded 12 years ago. So Council approved this, and just for your information, there are two sections of the road, because it comes all the way from Sokoto to Makera. The first section was awarded to Triacta. That section is 296 kilometers. We've completed that. We completed it just recently. The entire 296 kilometers is now motorable. About 100 kilometers of the second section, which is the subject of augmentation from Yauri to Makera, has been completed. So we just have about 85 kilometers to go.
Members of the Nigerian Bar Association marched to the National Assembly in solidarity with judiciary workers who are demanding financial autonomy for the judiciary. At the nation's capital, the JSUN workers converged on the gate of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, chanting solidarity songs and displaying placards.
Welcome back. Local governments were created to help Nigerians at all levels. The need for government presence at the grassroots level cannot be overemphasized. It helps with infrastructure growth and security. This week, we visit Wulum community in the Abuja Municipal Area Council. This community is located just in front of the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport and is famous for poor infrastructure and an incredible lack of government presence.
The struggle for a decent living is worsened by the lack of basic amenities like potable water and electricity in Wulum community, a settlement which is a stone throw from the Abuja airport. Years of neglect by the government towards the exasperating conditions found here has compelled more people to register their complaints. After walking miles just to get access to water, Mark Fred Udenze, a resident pastor here, shares some disturbing stories.
This is the only water they have, and that is the only water they drink. If you take it, the next thing is to be urinating blood. So these are the major challenge we have, water and that of light. That one is so secondary because I have written to the AMAC chairman 3 times, no reply. I've written to Philip Adudua, the FCT senator, leading me is one custom officer that was posted here then, and all of no avail. The most painful aspect is the councillor, Sunday Biko. He has been my friend right from when I was living in Toge, in his community. And when he was canvassing for the councillorship, I did all my best to make sure that everyone in the community voted for him, and he was voted for, and he won the election. But up to this very moment I'm talking to you, Sunday has not done anything. There is no government presence at all in Wulum village.
54-year-old chief of Wulum, Agura Mohammed, now retired, expresses profound concerns through his son over the uneven treatment they are subjected to by politicians.
su gaya muna wai gashi bayan sun ci zaben ga abun da za a yi muna bayan sun ci zaben kuma ba za mu gan su ba ba su yi muna abun da muke so ba sun ci zaben sun wuce kenan gashi nan muna sha wahala ba wuta kusa shekara 3 kenan muna garin nan ba wuta ba hanya ba mu da ruwa ba boho.
Apparently, there's a gross lack of compliance to the COVID-19 protocols, and incidentally, there are neither cases nor deaths.
COVID-19 dai ya zo a 2020 abi shine gwamnati ya zo da ikon Allah dai a nan namu dai nan area namu airport Allah ya sere muna ba mu gwamnati ba.
Wulum community, famous for its lack of health facilities, power supply, good roads and schools, ironically sits just opposite the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport.
We are close to presidential, where our president diverting to anywhere you want to go. Why do no one give us light for this place? If you have funded, let them tell us, see where we are fought.
When Channels Television contacted the Abuja Municipal Area Council, the head of Works Department, Mr. Andrew Gaza, who declined to speak on camera, said provision for water and electricity has been made for the community in the 2021 budget. He adds that plans are on the way to address some of the infrastructure challenges in the community. However, the authorities are expecting the residents to use some of the infrastructure in neighboring communities, pending when the area council is able to fulfill the promise of addressing the infrastructure. Challenges like this reflects the long-time negligence of the government towards this section of the people in a democratic setup, which clearly questions the ongoing development process by the government, and that clearly leaves a lot to be desired.
There's a nationwide consensus that if local governments had more autonomy and were not just appendages of state governors, we might see more development at that level. And our guest on the program agrees with this. Comrade Ambali Olatunji is the president of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees and has vowed to actualize local government autonomy by any means necessary. Comrade Olatunji, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much.
I want to talk to you about autonomy and why it's so important. You know, we're looking at local government autonomy, of course. You vowed when you came into office that you would ensure that we have local government autonomy in this country. Why is local government autonomy so important?
We are key players when it comes to practitioners in local government system, and we've been there over years. We have seen a lot of improvement and retrogression when it comes to policies of assault. For us in local government system, we believe that local government is the most strategic system of government, the closest, most important, most relevant tier of government to the people, because that's a point of contact between Nigerian people and governance. Most Nigerian people has no access to modern system of government. So for us, we also did a demographic survey that came out to say that over 65% of Nigerian population reside in the rural areas. So which means we only have about 30% residing in within the cosmopolitan city. And democracy, if it's about the given dividends of democracy to the people, it must target the larger percentage of the people. So for us, once the foundation is weak, the building cannot stand. The first and the most important, according to history, in terms of government, is the local government system. During the native authority, it has been in existence before the amalgamation of Nigeria. And when the colonial master came, they didn't abolish it. They improved on it. Yes.
My question really is about its autonomy.
Yes.
Why is it so important for local governments to be autonomous?
Yes. If we don't go back
financially, especially.
If we don't go back to the history, we may not be getting it right. That's why I'm putting it in clear perspective. If we had this so good in the past, when local government was able to tar roads and also trying to make sure they stem state of insecurity, because before the gradual depletion of the powers and function of local government, we haven't gotten it bad like this, where we have terrorism, we have banditry, we have Boko Haram, we have insurgency everywhere. How did local government used to do it?
At what point did local governments stop being that effective?
Yes, by 1999 constitution, there was a lacuna in 1999 constitution under section 7, 1, A and B. The first one it says, which was even very good, is guaranteeing democratic system of government in local government level. But because of the greed, the over-domineering power and lust for power by the state political elite, by the governors and the actors in the state level, they decided to seize local government political autonomy. They dissolved democratically elected political leaders in local government and imposed on the local government their cronies, who are their surrogates, as chairmen of caretaker committees and administrators. And by that implication, since those people do not enjoy the mandate of the people, they are no longer accountable to the people. And people lost interest in our democracy. That is the first one. And what they now did is, even in area that they say they are conducting election, what we are witnessing is charade. What we are witnessing is what we tag appointment, promotion, and coronation.
We've identified how effective the local governments were in the past. We've talked about when it went wrong and what are the problems. So we've identified what the issue is. You're coming now to say that we are going to ensure that local governments have autonomy. How are you going to do that?
After our public rally sensitization here and there, the 8th National Assembly passed a bill guaranteeing local government autonomy. And that was as a result of referendum conducted. At the referendum at the zonal level, across the country, over 90% of participants, Nigerians, voted for local government autonomy. And even the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, affirmed openly that is going to ensure local government is granted full autonomy.
So what's the challenge?
Now, when we did that, the bill was transmitted to the State House of Assembly. Only 9 of them passed it, 2 voted against it, and the majority, they abandoned it. They discontinued the debate. That's why we are at this level again. And don't forget, around that time too, the bill for autonomy of the state judiciary and the parliamentary was also given that approval. But surprisingly, even at the parliament level, in the state level, they even declared to grant themselves autonomy.
That's actually the next question I had for you. When it comes to the state level, financial autonomy for the judiciary, does it exist in any state in this country?
You can't say it exists. But you see, interestingly, we are not getting it right. We have different arms of government. If we say judiciary, the executive, legislative, and judiciary, they exist. What we need to do is that who should be responsible for funding judiciary?
Well, the state governments actually committed. They committed to implementing financial autonomy for state judiciary.
Level, saying is different from doing.
So you don't trust
We don't. So with our experience in local government, we know that, like for example, when we nearly actualized the local government autonomy, the federal government brought in NFIU, which is a financial intelligence unit, to control the funding in local government. These people, through the back door, go back to court, and they stall the performance of NFIU. So, you know, because they have enjoyed this power, enormous power, it will be difficult until Labour really ensure that the agreement they are going to sign with them should be expressly stated. Not that they make a pronouncement, Forum of Governors make a pronouncement. No, that is political. For us in Labour, we want to see a written document, clearly stipulated terms of agreement. And until we are able to do that, all these saying, we don't believe it in Labour. Because we have experience we know have governors who choose to disobey court order.
There's a bill asking that local governments be delisted from the constitution.
Yes. The National Assembly need to be careful so that their name is not dragged into the mud. If democracy and the people own the sovereignty of democracy, people decided they want autonomy. Is Bob Solomon billing just a reflection of the wishes of his people? And no federal government, no unitary system of government can meet the political need and aspiration of the people. So at that level, you need an inclusive government at lower level, whereby people will have a platform to be involved in democracy.
So just so that we can be clear, you do not think that the local governments in Nigeria right now are effective?
Yes, because they are resources.
Yes, they are effective.
Yeah, they are not effective. They are castrated as a result of criminal diversion, pilfering, and outright stealing of local government fund by state actors using the jack, which is a lacuna in the constitution. The dream of the founding fathers is clear, that let us have a pool of fund under joint account allocation committee. When you look at the constitution section 7, it says appropriation of public fund to local government should be through jack, which will be legislated by the state houses of assembly. But instead of them bringing, the law says you bring federal allocation meant for local government into that pool. You also calculate 10% of IGR by every state. You put it in that pool of fund, and you redistribute to local government equally. Now, instead of them doing that, they are not even contributing ₦1. What they do is to even pilfer the local government fund.
We're going to have to end it there. Thank you so much, Comrade Olatunji, for being with us on Dateline.
My pleasure.
What makes the Wulum community so pathetic is how close it is to the seat of power. I mean, not only is it located in the Abuja Municipal Area Council, but it's also close to the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, which means that anyone, including the president, who lands there has seen this area. We do hope the FCT authorities investigate the plight of Wulum and take necessary action soon. That's our show this week. Please let us know the happenings in your neighborhood using the social media handles showing right now on your screen. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayla Megwa. See you next time.